Hello traders. In this video, I want to share a very effective and very good Bitcoin trading strategy that will allow you to find good long-term trends and make big profits on Bitcoin trading. You've probably all noticed that Bitcoin can go a very huge distance in price and super profits in a single day and even a few hours. And of course, many traders, especially beginners, are tempted to make lots of trades in, out of the market every time to make money on both the rise and fall of the price. And in fact, the bitter truth is that most of these traders get results for less than just simply buying and holding Bitcoin for the long term. But in this video, I will show you a strategy to combine the two approaches and simultaneously make long-term profits on a buy and hold strategy. That is, to take advantage of long rising trends on Bitcoin, but also to lock in profits in time and find the right entry points into this rising trend. Also, as a bonus, since this strategy is long-term, as a bonus today, I will share one more small strategy that will help you make profits on more active trading with constant searching for trades. So, let's talk about the first basic strategy. Our goal is to find as accurate Bitcoin buy entries as possible. Very important point. This strategy is only for up trades, only for long-term buying with the aim of holding Bitcoin growth. That's why the time frame is also big. It should be at least 4 hours. That is, each candle should show the result of trading for 4 hours or 1 day. I chose 4 hours for the demo, and in order to trade the strategy, we only need one indicator. It is Ichimoku clouds, but with unusual settings. Let me show you how it should be installed. First of all, we find Ichimoku clouds in the list of indicators, and they are installed on our chart. Load it because it's a complex indicator of multiple lines, so we need it to fully load. Next, we change the settings. First of all, we do not need all the signal lines except those that form the Ichimoku cloud itself. I will now explain how we will trade on it. Also, in the settings from the last line, we change the parameter to 1. Now here's the Ichimoku cloud stopped with the parameters we need. The basic principle of Ichimoku clouds is that it is the cloud itself that is colored, and that when above that cloud, we open trades up, and when the chart is below that cloud, we open trades down. But since the strategy is long-term and only on buying, we consider trades only upwards. Also, the Kuma cloud shows not only the zone in which to trade, but also the current direction of the chart. When the fast-moving line is higher, then the red cloud is highlighted with green light. When the cloud is highlighted in green, it means a long-term rising trend. And when the cloud is highlighted in red, right here, for example, there's a small piece that is red, then the trend is downward. If we had a deployed one, the cloud would be highlighted in red. So for the strategy, we need to find crossover points, and at the same time, that the chart is above the Ichimoku cloud. In this case, we can show 2 examples. See, we need to wait until the chart rises and the green candle closes above the Ichimoku cloud. Now the chart is above the cloud, and accordingly, we can open a trade up. That's the first signal. The second signal we need is for the fast-moving average to cross the slow-moving average, and we have a cloud-colored green. The combination of these 2 signals gives us a clear signal for an up trade. For example, we have an intersection of the graph here. We have the chart above the cloud, and the cloud itself is highlighted in green. Here we enter the trade, exit the trade only when the chart crosses the cloud again. Here at this point, we would lock in a profit on this trade. Next, let's look at some other examples. The chart has grown above the Kumo cloud again, but we do not see the crossover, so we miss such a signal. Let's look beyond the graph. We've got a cloud turning red here. Here we are simply not looking at any trades at the moment because the chart itself is also under the Kumo cloud. In that case, we skip the deals. And here we have a green candle again. Now the chart is back above the Ichimoku cloud. And we have an overlap. You see the fast-moving average has crossed the slow moving average and the cloud is now green again. Here's the green cloud showing the continuation of the trend. The two signals coincided and we further see that the chart has risen. And here, at this point, we are already taking profits. Once again, this is a very simple strategy that is based on only two signals. We just need to wait for the Kuma cloud chart to cross with the correct Ichimoku cloud settings, and then additional confirmation will be the crossing of the cloud lines from the bottom to the top for the cloud to turn green. This is what the cloud looks like when in a downtrend colored red. Let's take another look at the trades in this strategy. Here we have a chart. It doesn't have a clearly defined trend here. The graph just moves and we see the crossover. The chart is now above the Kumo cloud, but so far we don't have confirmation from the cloud itself. It's only coming in on the next candles. See, here the fast glide crossed the slow glide and the cloud turned green. This is when only when we have both signals, enter a buy trade. The chart is rising, and here at the time, when the chart goes back into the cloud, we close the trade with a profit. Let's see what we see next. Here we have a crossing again, we have a long green candle, and the cloud again, after the crossing, is colored in green. Here we again enter a buy trade and wait for the moment when the chart returns back to the cloud. It happened right here, and from here to here, we made a good profit too. Once again, two important points that apart from the signals, this strategy has. First, we need a high time frame of at least 4 hours, and ideally 1 day. Second, we only consider upward trades. This is where it went from the time this deal started to the time it was finalized. From April 21st to April 27th, it's been 6 days. That is, we keep trades for a long time, and we have to wait for a signal, a clear signal, on this strategy for a long time. Therefore, for traders who do not want to only hold long-term trades to growth, I want to show another strategy, which also, by history, shows itself well just on Bitcoin. This is a trade that is more suitable for short-term trading. So the strategy consists of only two indicators, Chaikin money flow and the usual MACD indicator. In order to add them to the chart, we can go to the Tools menu, enter Chaikin money flow and set it to chart, and MACD2 with standard settings. Both indicators have standard settings. The time frame in this case, we have 5 minutes. You can even set 1 minute. The strategy is still going to play out very well. What's 5 minutes? This means that each candle shows us the result of trading for 5 minutes. The Chaikin indicator will work on the same principle as the Kumo cloud. The Chaikin indicator shows the current balance of operations. If it is above 0, it means that the purchases and growth for the specified period in 20 candles. There was more to buying than selling, more to growth than offense. If the indicator is above 0, at this point, we only make upward trades. If the chain indicator is below 0, it means that the market is dominated by selling, that there are more sell trades, and that bears dominate this market. So, the first signal is the one we have the indicator Chaikin uses as a filtering one. That is, when it is above 0, we open trades only upwards. When the indicator is below 0, open trades only downwards. The main indicator gives us MACD. So, here we are waiting for the fast-moving average to cross the slow-moving average from bottom to top to buy, and vice versa. If the fast-moving average crosses the slow-moving average from bottom to top, it is a sell signal. So let's see what trades we could get into on this chart. So we have a Chaikin indicator above 0, and this is where we have a buy signal. You see, the fast-moving average crosses the slow one, and we get a signal for a trade up the indicators above 0. So at that point, we can go and use the trade up and capitalize on that move. Next, we look for other possible options. This is where we wouldn't use that signal. For example, we have exactly the same crossover from bottom to top, but the Chaikin indicator is in the negative zone. And here was a good upward trend, but such a strategy signal we would have missed. Sometimes you have to miss profitable signals for the sake of following the strategy clearly. Here, for example, let's consider another option. Here's the MACD indicator showing a signal to trade down. The fast-moving average has crossed the slow-moving average from top to bottom. We got a sell signal, and the Chikina indicator is near zero, but it's in negative territory. So this is the point where we can enter clearly into a down trade. After small fluctuations, we got a good trend downwards and recorded a good profit on it. Here's such a simple strategy that you can trade in breaks when you are waiting for signals or waiting for the result of a previous long-term strategy. And by combining these two strategies, which perform well on Bitcoin, you will be able to use both long-term price movements and short-term fluctuations. Share your opinion in the comments and see you in the new trading sessions. Bye.